One October night, Emma drove down an empty rural road flanked by dense woods. The air was crisp, and the full moon cast a pale glow over the barren landscape. She was headed to her parents' house, a 2-hour drive from her apartment. Her car's headlights sliced through the darkness, illuminating nothing but the endless stretch of asphalt ahead. The radio crackled, and Emma reached out to adjust the dial. Static gave way to a faint melody, a soft, eerie whistling tune. Confused, she glanced at the display. The station wasn't tuned to anything specific. It was just there. Shaking it off as a glitch, Emma turned the radio off, but the whistling continued. Now it wasn't coming from the speakers, it was outside. She gripped the steering wheel tighter and scanned the roadside. There was no one. Just trees swaying gently in the night breeze. Suddenly, a dark figure appeared in the beam of her headlights. Emma slammed on the brakes, her heart pounding. The car screeched to a halt just inches from the figure, a man dressed in an old, tattered suit. His face was pale and his eyes were sunken. He stood motionless, his lips pursed, as if he were whistling. Emma's breath caught in her throat. She locked the doors and honked the horn, hoping the man would move, but he didn't. Instead, he slowly raised his hand and pointed to the woods. The whistling grew louder, though his lips didn't move. Without thinking, Emma threw the car into reverse, her tires squealing as she backed away. The man didn't follow. He just stood there, pointing. She turned the car around and sped down the road, her pulse racing. The whistling faded, but Emma couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Minutes later, her phone buzzed, in the passenger seat. Reluctantly, she glanced at it. The screen displayed an unknown number. Against her better judgment, she picked up. "Hello?" she whispered. A faint, familiar tune came through the line. Whistling. Her stomach dropped. She hung up and tossed the phone aside, her hands trembling. Suddenly, the radio came to life again, blaring the same haunting whistle. Emma reached out to turn it off, but the knob wouldn't budge. The whistle grew louder, filling the car until it was deafening. And then, in the rearview mirror, she saw him. The whistling man was sitting in her back seat, his hollow eyes fixed on hers. The last thing Emma heard before her screams were swallowed by the night was the whistle, soft, steady, and chilling.